What's up, y'all? Instant Classic here again. I am been running out of ideas for videos. I've been watching a lot of wrestling lately, actually. I don't know why. Like I said before, it's kind of taken a backseat to baseball right now for me. So I haven't been watching a lot of wrestling, so I've kind of lost interest lately. But I'm starting to try and get back into it. I've just ordered a Pro Wrestling Guerrilla DVD that I've yet to put in, surprisingly. So, but yeah, the topic I just want to talk about here is the WWE Hall of Fame. To be honest, I think they're missing a lot of people in the Hall. And one day, for some reason, I had the list. I wrote down everyone who was ever inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. And it honestly looks like the most stacked year was probably '05, because we had, Hogan, who's probably the most popular wrestler of all time, Piper, who's up there, Bob Orton, Jimmy Hart, one of the best managers ever, Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov, some great heels back in the '80s, so that was probably the most stacked year. But, to be honest, they have a lot of people in there who probably deserve to be in it. People like, for instance, let's see, back in '06, the Blackjacks got inducted. I didn't know who the Blackjacks are then. I still don't know much about who they are now. I have an entire list, almost like a regular sheet of paper here, like a row and a quarter of teams that I think deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, and for some reason just aren't. I don't know why. Whether these are all people who didn't find most of their success in their career with Vince, so maybe that's why, but I guess I'll never know. So I'm just going to run down all the names, and I'm sure you guys can think of even more, because I just have no idea. But if there is some reason there, then I'll explain. But anyway, starting at the top, Ric Flair, he's obviously in now. I wrote this list like a year ago, so Sting, obvious reasons, never worked for the E. I'm sure that Vince will induct him later, though. Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, and Mick Foley are all still pretty active, so I can see why the three of them are not in. Von Erichs, I don't have a good answer for you there. Owen Hart, again. Bruno Sammartino, I know he has big heat with the WWE right now. I don't know why, but there. Bob Backlund, Randy Savage, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash. They've all worked for TNA at some time, but I don't really think, and I think some of them might have a beef with Vince, but, they all, I think, deserve to be in there, regardless of their beef with Vince. So, Ultimate Warrior, obvious reasons. Really important back in the '80s, wasn't a fantastic wrestler, but was still solid. Very popular, but after all the politics he pulled, I can see why they didn't put him in. Austin and Rock, probably too early for them to get in. That's basically, they'll be in eventually. Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, Vader, Lex Luger, Rick Rude, Rick Martel, Jake Roberts, Ted DiBiase, and Terry Funk. I think those, I don't know, must have been like 10 people or so. I have no idea why they're not in. I didn't watch wrestling in the 80s. Hell, I wasn't even alive in the 80s. But from what I know, these guys were absolutely huge to the wrestling business. And guys like Luger and Vader, DiBiase, Jake Roberts, those guys worked a lot for Vince. They did a lot for him. Why they're not in, I have no idea. Ricky Steamboat, I think they mean to put him in, but I think his wife had the rights to the name Ricky. There was something weird going on. I remember reading about a while ago. So Barry Windham, Magnum TA, Steiner Brothers. I know Scott still is working for TNA, and Rick was recently working for TNA. So, Larry Zbyszko, Midnight Express, and one I wrote on here, probably just for my own selfish reasons, Diamond Dallas Page. I don't really necessarily think he deserves to be in the Hall, but it'd be good to see him going someday. I mean, I understand that they can't, like, a lot of these guys are like headlining names for years, so I understand that they can't induct them all at one time, but I mean, still, this is kind of crazy. I don't know. I mean, if I can make a list of this many names, and I have been a real smart fan and known like a lot of the history of the business for only like about 2 years, that's really saying something. But in other news, some more positive light, I hear that they're going to make a WWE Hall of Fame like an actual place. That's awesome. I mean, I'm wearing the, you guys probably can't see, but I'm wearing the Cooperstown Baseball Hall of Fame shirt right now. Hall of Fames are just like really sweet places to go. I've been to the Baseball Hall of Fame. I've been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I meant to go to the Boxing Hall of Fame. It was on the way to Boston when I took a road trip over there, but we didn't really have the time, unfortunately, so I didn't make it over to the Boxing Hall of Fame. But Hall of Fames are just really some sweet places to go. I mean, it's kind of unfortunate that WWE is going to be making the Hall of Fame building, because they're obviously going to have biases for and against people, which is not, really going to be fair. But regardless, it'll be an awesome place to go and visit and just really learn and have a lot of people, a lot of families, fathers, just, taking their kids, mothers, whoever, just make it a whole family endeavor. And I mean, I'm sure whoever you are, you'll be able to find something there that you'll enjoy. So I'm assuming they're going to make it in Connecticut, where their main headquarters are. That's where the only logical place I can think of to put it is right now. I prefer it in the Midwest, but hey, you know what? I'll still make it over there, even if it goes to the east or actually wherever it is. As long as it's in America, I'll make it over there to see it. So, really just all I've got for today. Kind of running out of video ideas, so if you guys can pitch me any, that would be greatly appreciated. Alright, well, everyone, have a great weekend. I will see you later, I guess. Watch the MMA show. I hear they're starting an MMA show on NBC this weekend, so watch it. Okay, bye.